Good evening, beautiful souls. I hope you had another fantastic day the Lord made, and I hope you rejoiced and were glad in it. I am doing a second video overviewing 1 Corinthians 3:16 through 17. Do you not know that you are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in you? If anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy him. For God's temple is holy, and you are that temple. Very convicting. Who is you, though? In this chapter, Paul is speaking to the church in Corinth collectively, not just to individuals. Earlier, he says, you are God's field, God's building, in 1 Corinthians 3:9. So in 3:16, you is plural. The church as a community is God's temple. This is important because Paul is not mainly talking about personal habits here, as he does later in 6:19. Here he's talking about the spiritual health and unity of the church. So temple means, in the Old Testament, the temple was the dwelling place of God's presence, holy and set apart, not to be defiled or treated casually. But Paul is saying God no longer dwells in a physical building in Jerusalem. He dwells in his people by the Spirit. The church gathered together is the new temple. So what does destroy mean? The word translated destroy can also mean corrupt, ruin, or defile. So in context, 1 Corinthians 3:1 through 15, Paul has been addressing division, jealousy, pride, false teaching. So destroying the temple refers to causing division in the church, spreading false doctrine, leading believers into spiritual harm, damaging the unity and holiness of the body. So Paul gives a severe warning. If someone deliberately works to tear down God's church, God will judge them. This shows how seriously God takes his church. God's temple is holy. Holy means set apart, belonging to God, not common. The church isn't just a social club or organization. It is sacred because God's Spirit lives there. And then Paul makes it personal. You are that temple. The community of believers is where God now dwells. So the big idea in 1 Corinthians 3:16 through 17 is that the church is the dwelling place of God's Spirit. Unity and sound teaching matter deeply. Causing division or